Most people don't suffer from reality. They suffer from the story they tell themselves about reality. And the scariest part? The story feels real. Overthinking doesn't begin as chaos. It begins as caution. One unanswered message, one delayed reply, one subtle shift in tone, one look that felt slightly different. That's all it takes. And suddenly your mind builds a courtroom. You are the suspect. You are the prosecutor. You are the judge. And somehow, you are always guilty. You replay the moment. She didn't reply. She must be losing interest. I said something wrong. I talked too much. I wasn't confident enough. I always ruin things. Notice the pattern. The conclusion is almost always against you. But here's what's really happening beneath the surface. Your brain is not searching for truth. It's searching for confirmation. Confirmation bias is the silent filter in your mind. It makes you notice evidence that supports what you already believe and quietly ignore anything that contradicts it. It edits reality. If deep down you believe you're not good enough, your brain becomes a detective assigned to prove that case. If you believe people eventually leave, your mind will collect every small sign that feels like abandonment. If you believe you're awkward, you will remember every pause, every silence, but forget every smile. You don't see reality clearly. You see filtered reality. It's like wearing invisible glasses that only show you what matches your fears. She takes longer to reply? That confirms your insecurity. But the fact that she texted first yesterday? Ignored. The compliment she gave you? Minimized. The effort she makes? Overlooked. Your brain highlights the threat and deletes the reassurance. And the worst part? It feels logical. It feels like you're thinking deeply. It feels like you're being observant. But you're not observing everything. You're observing selectively. Overthinking is confirmation bias in motion. It's not intelligence. It's fear moving fast. Your mind thinks it's protecting you. If I expect the worst, I won't be hurt. If I analyze everything, I'll stay in control. If I prepare for rejection, I'll survive it. But instead of protecting you, it rewires you. You become tense. You become hyper-aware. You become emotionally guarded. You start responding to things that haven't even happened yet. You argue with scenarios in your head. You defend yourself against imaginary accusations. You rehearse explanations no one asked for. And slowly, you stop living in reality. You start living in interpretation. And interpretation, when biased, becomes distortion. Here's something most people don't realize. Your brain prefers being right over being happy. If you believe you're unworthy and someone treats you well, your brain will search for a flaw. Because if the belief is wrong, your identity has to change. And changing identity is uncomfortable. So the brain protects the belief, even if it hurts you. That's why overthinking feels addictive. It gives you the illusion of control. It makes you feel prepared. But preparation without balance becomes paranoia, and paranoia destroys peace. So what breaks the cycle? Awareness. The moment you catch yourself spiraling, pause. Not to suppress the thought, not to fight it, but to question it. Ask yourself, what else could this mean? What is the most neutral explanation? If someone else were in my position, would I judge them this harshly? You'll notice something powerful. Your mind jumps to negative conclusions automatically, but balanced conclusions require effort. Confidence is not positive thinking, it's balanced thinking. It's the ability to say, this is one interpretation, not the only one. It's choosing not to let your first emotional reaction become your final belief. Because once a thought feels like a fact, It controls your behavior. You withdraw. You overcompensate. You act insecure. You become distant. And ironically, your behavior can create the exact outcome you feared. That's the real trap of confirmation bias. It doesn't just distort reality, it shapes it. So the real discipline isn't controlling people, it's controlling interpretation. You cannot stop thoughts from appearing, but you can decide which ones deserve authority. You are not your first thought. You are not your loudest thought. You are not your most anxious thought. You are the observer, and the observer has power. Train your mind, or it will train you. Because in the end, the difference between confidence and anxiety is often just the story you decide to believe, and you have more control over that story than you think. Like if you've been here before. Comment yes if you overthink too. Subscribe for more Psychology Explained.